Hi my friends, I hope you are well. You can open page 26, student's book, culture, and look at the picture. Look at the photos and answer the questions. Look at here. In what part of the world were these photos taken? What do you think about this picture? It can be from Antarctica, and there is always snow, we can say. Why might life be difficult there? How many reasons can you think of? For example, there is always snow. Can you think that there are always snow everywhere? What can you do? Can you walk safely? No, of course. Can you grow something? Can you play games? Can you play football? No, of course. So we can think like this. Okay, read and listen to the article. Check your predictions. We can think after we listen this passage. Now, first of all, listen it, and then we can answer these questions. Okay.
Track 1.17.
Where life is really hard. It's the end of the winter. Most people have been inside for weeks. They haven't seen the sun for a long time. But some men are outside. It's bitterly cold, with temperatures of around minus 45 degrees Celsius, and the freezing wind makes the situation difficult for them to bear. These men are hunters, and the survival of the people they've left behind in the villages depends on how successful their hunt is. Akicha is one of these men. He's been out hunting for more than a week now. While he's away from home, he stays overnight in a little igloo that he's made himself from ice and snow. The igloo protects him from the freezing wind. Inside, there's a little stove for cooking and a small stone lamp which provides light. Together, they help to create a temperature of around 12 degrees Celsius. Right now, Akicha is several kilometers away from his igloo. He's riding his snowmobile along the coast, far out on the frozen sea. Suddenly, he can see something in the distance. He stops his snowmobile and checks through his binoculars. It's a seal. Holding a screen of white canvas in front of him in one hand and his gun in the other, he moves forward, cautiously hiding behind the screen all the time so that the seal won't notice him. If he's lucky and his hunt goes well, the meat he brings home should last his family for several weeks. Akicha and his people are part of the Inuit community. Most of them still live a very traditional life, a life that makes them dependent on hunting seals and whales. Some of them also live off the reindeer they keep. The Inuit are indigenous people of the Arctic Circle, which means they've lived here for so long that they feel the land is theirs. The Arctic Circle is a huge land area that belongs to a number of northern countries: Russia, the USA, Canada, Greenland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland. The northern environment is an exceptional habitat. Temperatures are low during most of the year, and summers are short, which means that plants can only grow for a few weeks every year. If the reindeer eat the moss that grows in a certain area, it can take up to 30 years for the plants to grow back. This is why Inuits who make a living from keeping and breeding reindeer have to be constantly on the move with their herds. For most of us, life is less hard than it is for the Inuit people. But maybe we can learn something from them. Their traditional way of life is a model of living in partnership with nature, rather than exploiting and destroying it.
Yes, we can go on with the. Okay, we can think if you want. Can you grow something on this place? No, of course, it's always snow. And you have to take from the lake that your food. And like this reason that you can't live in like this place. And we can go on with this. Read the article again, answer the questions. What are winters like inside the Arctic Circle? What can you find from the passage? And I can say to you, the winters are long, bitterly cold and windy inside the Arctic Circle. Yes. Second, how does a Kikya survive when he is out hunting? How? A Kikya survives by staying overnight in a little igloo that he makes himself. 3. What does he hunt and how does he do this? A Kikya hunts seals and whales, and he does it by hiding behind a screen of white canvas and shooting the animals with a gun. 4. Why can't the unit who keep reindeer stay in one place for a long time? Because they can't stay in one place for too long, because the moss that reindeer eat takes a long time to grow back. They therefore need to move to a new place to find more food. So there is no mass, there is no grass for reindeer, so they have to move all the time. Now we can go on with, look at here, page 27 and vocabulary. Can you look at here? Continue to be enough. Which one we can match? Continue to be enough. Yes, first of all, can you think and we can do together? Yeah, yes, last. Not taken with them. Yes, left behind. From one evening through to the next morning. Yes, of course, overnight. Not staying in one place for very long. On the move. Tolerate, put up with. Yes, bear. Large group of animals. Hat. A type of plant. Yes. Raising animals, we can say breeding. Okay. Now there is a paragraph about the fall of the Berlin Wall. We can look here and we can read it together. For 20 years, Berlin was a divided city. Ever since its construction in 1961, a huge wall had stopped citizens from East Germany visiting their neighbors in the West. Many people had tried. Some were successful, but many more died shot as they attempted to get to the other side. In 1989, there were a number of radical political demonstrations across Eastern Europe as the people of countries such as Poland and Hungary protested against their governments that managed to change them. On 9 November, the East German government announced that their people were free to visit the western side of the city. That evening, thousands of East Berliners rushed to the wall and demanded that the gates were opened. The border guards didn't know what to do. While the crowds were singing, the guards phoned their bosses for orders. It soon became clear that they had no choice but to let the people pass. On the other side, the crows were greeted by West Berliners with flowers and champagne. People climbed up onto the top of the wall and began dancing on it to celebrate their new freedom. People started arriving with sledgehammer to try and smash down the wall. Many grabbed bricks as souvenirs. A little later, the government sent the bulldozer to demolish the wall. The wall that had been dividing a city for nearly 3 decades was soon gone, and 339 days later, the two nations of East and West Germany also became one. Yes. Now we can look at here and we can look, and please do it yourself in your book, and can you send me with K12 these exercise answer, okay? Now I think it's enough for this lesson. See you the next lesson. Bye bye.